The story starts with a forest that is divided into two distinct realms. On one side, the fairy kingdom, while on the other, the ominous dark kingdom resides. The borders between the two kingdoms are adorned with exquisite primrose flowers, which hold the power to create love potions. Princess Marianne, the newly crowned queen of the fairy kingdom, embarks on a wandering adventure and unknowingly finds herself venturing into the treacherous depths of the dark forest. Within the dark forest lurk dangerous bugs, posing a threat to the princess. They plot to capture her, but Marianne manages to escape their clutches. The bugs, fearing that the princess may have come to steal the precious primrose flowers, inform their king of their suspicions. King Bog, upon hearing this news, is consumed by rage. In response, he orders the cutting of all primrose flowers, as he despises the notion of love and refuses to allow the creation of love potions within his kingdom. Meanwhile, we learn about the king's mother, who holds a different perspective. She longs to bring love back to the Black Forest, despite her son's vehement opposition. Shifting our focus back to the fairy kingdom, Queen Marianne seeks solace in the company of her beloved fiancé, Roland. Marianne's love for Roland knows no bounds, but unbeknownst to her, Roland's affections are merely a facade. His true intentions revolve around becoming the king, using Marianne as a means to achieve his ambitions. Marianne's sister Dawn comes to her and asks her to come with her to prepare for the wedding. On her way back, Marianne finds a beautiful flower and decides to give it to Roland. But when she returns, she sees Roland with another fairy, which breaks her heart. Depressed, she goes back home. Roland also sees her and realizes that his secret has been revealed. Dawn comforts her sister and tells her that she doesn't want to get married anymore and now hates love. Dawn's friend Sunny, who loves her a lot, tries to make her happy. He even dances in front of her. Suddenly, a huge lizard attacks them, and Sunny tries to protect Dawn but fails. At that exact moment, Marianne comes to their rescue. Sunny, feeling scared, finds himself near the mysterious Black Forest. Marianne guides him back to safety. She scolds him, asking why he went there in the first place. She then questions if they want to become like the Sugar Plum Fairy. They learn that Sugar Plum is a fairy who possesses the knowledge of making a love potion. Unfortunately, she has been imprisoned by Bog for many years. Suddenly, a primrose petal appears out of thin air. Frightened, they leave it behind and make their way back to their kingdom. Roland arrives and tries to convince Marianne to agree with him in her kingdom. However, Marianne refuses to listen and throws him out. Roland, desperate to regain his kingdom, seeks the help of a friend who suggests using a love potion. Roland notices that Sunny has been secretly watching Dawn, who is dancing with someone else. He comes up with an idea and starts manipulating Sunny. He approaches Sunny and tells him that their problem can be solved with a love potion. If Sunny retrieves the love potion from the dark forest, everything will be fine. Infatuated, Sunny falls into Roland's trap. He goes to the dark forest, following the trail of the primrose petal. Meanwhile, King Bog learns about the petal and orders everyone to find the elf who possesses it. On the other hand, as Sunny is taking the petal, he encounters an imp who understands his intentions. The imp asks Sunny to follow him and leads him through a tunnel to the place where the Sugar Plum Fairy is imprisoned. When the Sugar Plum Fairy sees Sunny and notices the petal in his hand, she panics and warns him that Bog will not spare them if he finds out. Sunny pleads with her to make the love potion. She agrees, but only if he promises to release her from her prison. Eventually, she creates the love potion and explains that once it is used, the person in front of Sunny will fall in love with him. After some time, the potion is ready. True to his word, Sunny sets the fairy free. As soon as she was released, she burst into song, radiating pure happiness. Her melodic voice carried through the air, reaching the ears of Bob. Intrigued, he followed the sound and arrived at the scene, accompanied by his loyal bugs who were there to investigate. Just as Sugar Plum Fairy and Sunny were about to make their escape, Bog appeared and captured Sugar Plum once again. Fortunately, Sunny managed to slip away. The fairy informed Sunny that she had concocted a love potion, revealing Sunny's true intentions. This revelation angered Bog, who stormed off in a fit of rage. He commanded his bugs to retrieve the love potion. Meanwhile, the imp, who had been chasing Sunny, arrived at the fairy kingdom. Sunny noticed that a festive celebration was taking place. Roland approached him and suggested using the love potion. In an attempt to get rid of the imp, Sunny impulsively threw the potion at Dawn without any prior preparation. As the potion made contact with her, a swarm of bugs appeared and whisked Dawn away. The imp seized the remaining potion and made his escape. Bog also arrived at the fairy kingdom, demanding the love potion from Sunny. However, Sunny confessed that he did not possess it, causing Bog to become furious. Just then, Marianne arrived and urged Bog to leave their kingdom. Bog threatened to harm Marianne's sister if the love potion was not delivered by tonight. With that, the king departed and Marianne followed suit. Marianne's father forbade her from venturing into the dark forest, but Roland took advantage of the situation and offered to bring Dawn back. His true motive was to gain Marianne's trust. However, Marianne remained skeptical and silently departed. She entrusted Sunny with the task of finding the love potion while she searched for her sister, Dawn. Roland, being cunning, used this opportunity to his advantage. He blamed Sunny for the predicament and promised Marianne's father that he would bring back both princesses. Sunny, filled with remorse, apologized to the elves and set off on his journey with his friend. They embarked on a quest to find the imp, setting a trap in hopes of capturing him. Unfortunately, they ended up getting caught in their own trap by mistake. In the meantime, a large lizard approaches them. Instead of attacking, it behaves kindly towards them. It is revealed that the imp has used a love potion on the lizard, causing it to fall in love with them. The lizard continues to spread love to other creatures as well. Sunny takes advantage of the lizard to free himself, and they use it to retrieve the love potion from the imp. Meanwhile, Roland and his army have arrived in the dark forest. He notices Sunny and the lizard, but declares that he will escape from them. Roland takes the love potion from Sunny's hand and sets off to find Dawn and Marianne. Marianne, on her way to Bog's castle, witnesses the effects of the love potion on various creatures. Dawn falls in love with Bog due to the potion's influence, and after a chase, Bog is forced to imprison her when she becomes irritated. Bog seeks the Sugar Plum Fairy to find the antidote for the love potion. A bug reports that many creatures are in love with each other due to the potion. Bog orders for all the creatures to be brought to him, as they have become obsessed with each other. Marianne pleads with Bog to release her sister, but Bog refuses until he obtains the love potion. A fierce battle ensues between them, with neither side accepting defeat. Bog then asks Marianne to accompany him and takes her to a cave where he shows her the creatures who are madly in love. Marianne finds it unsettling. Bog eventually brings Marianne to Dawn, who is still under the influence of his love. Marianne realizes the truth and tries to convince Dawn to leave with her, but Dawn refuses and chooses to stay with Bog, causing a rift between the sisters. Just then, Bog's mother arrives and believes that Bog and Marianne are the perfect couple. She sends them off to a romantic dinner together. They find out that they both dislike being in love. They decide to ask the Sugar Plum Fairy for an antidote, but she ignores them. The Sugar Plum Fairy gives them a riddle, saying that the antidote to the love potion is stronger than something else. They try to think of the answer, but they can't figure it out. Later, the Sugar Plum Fairy tells them a love story about Bog. Bog wanted to love a ladybug, so he made a love potion for her. However, the potion didn't affect her because she already loved someone else. Marianne realizes that in order to remove the effects of the love potion, Dawn needs to be truly loved. Marianne notices that Bog seems sad and asks him what happened. Bog thinks that maybe he is ugly and that's why no one loves him. Marianne tells him that real beauty is in the heart and looks don't matter. At this moment, they start to realize that they might like each other. Later, Bog shows Marianne his kingdom, and they discover the beautiful dark forest that Marianne had never seen before. Suddenly, Bog sees Roland's army and thinks that Marianne planned it. He becomes angry and leaves her behind to go stop Roland. Roland offers Marianne the love potion in exchange for releasing the princesses. Marianne arrives and warns Bog that Roland is not a good person, but Bog doesn't believe her. Bog tells his bug to bring Dawn outside while Roland tries to sprinkle the love potion on Marianne. Bog stops him and protects her. Dawn comes outside and Roland takes her captive. Bog and Marianne try to save Dawn, but Roland orders his army to attack them. The castle is under attack and starts to crumble. Meanwhile, Sunny reaches the Sugar Plum Fairy and tries to set her free. Together, they free the other creatures. Meanwhile, Roland runs away with Marianne, but she manages to free herself from him. She goes back for Bog and Dawn. The castle continues to crumble and break apart. Bog has left the door open, hoping that Marianne and Dawn will return. They manage to escape, but the castle collapses. Bog falls down with the castle, and everyone thinks that he might have died. It's a very sad scene. After the castle collapses, Bog is found lying on the ground. Everyone fears the worst, thinking Bog might be dead. It's a heartbreaking moment for all. Bog was such a kind soul. Later, we see Sunny embracing Dawn. The love potion's magic vanishes as quickly as it appears. Sunny's feelings for Dawn are finally reciprocated. Marianne spots Bog flying towards them from above. Just then, Roland shows up and tries to use the love potion on Marianne. To everyone's surprise, the potion has no effect because Marianne was already in love with Bog. Bog and Marianne finally confess their love for each other, bringing joy to everyone. The film ends with Roland falling for a fly after accidentally getting hit by the love potion. Bob and Marianne finally realized that they were meant to be together, and their union brought an end to the enmity between the kingdom and the dark forest. From that point on, everyone began to live harmoniously, filled with happiness. And with this beautiful ending, the movie concluded. If you enjoyed this amazing fairy tale, we request you to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for more amazing content.